That was an excerpt from LeBron James's interview Unguarded with Rachel Nichols on CNN. It airs 10:30 Eastern on Friday. So LeBron says he would have considered staying if the Heat beat the Spurs. It would have been hard to leave. You just heard him say that. Here's the question, though. Stephen A., do you believe that?
No, I do not. But I'm not knocking LeBron James for that. I mean, he's entitled to say what he has to say, and he's going to make sure that he dots his I's and crosses his T's. The fact of the matter is, Skip Bayless, the summer of 2013, I sat right across from you on First Take and told you that I was hearing that he was strongly considering leaving Miami for Cleveland at that particular moment in time. And so if that kind of stuff gets out and it circulates, and then you know anything about LeBron and you take all the other ancillary things into consideration, his boys not necessarily being treated with the level of affection and welcoming that he would have preferred, along with him not being able to exercise the degree of control and prowess and cachet that he had when he was in Cleveland. Family and friends really wishing that they were back on their home turf. And then you look at what he's doing from a business perspective. LeBron James is not just a player. He's the de facto general manager and soon-to-be part owner for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as far as I'm concerned. If you look at the level of prowess that he's exercising right now, they're not making any decisions that LeBron James doesn't approve of. His friends and family members will be treated significantly more closely than they were in Miami. And that's not to say he was mistreated by any stretch of the imagination, because the Miami Heat are a first-class organization led by Mickey Harrison and Pat Riley. You know how I feel about them. But Pat Riley is old school. There's not going to be anybody running the show in South Beach other than Pat Riley. That's just the way it's going to be as long as he's there. So he will sit there and talk with you. He will challenge you. He will be fair to you. But he's not going to kiss anybody's tush. That's not how Pat Riley rolls. He doesn't do that. Dan Gilbert clearly doesn't have that problem, because look at what he did to get LeBron James to even consider coming back. Took that letter, that scathing letter he wrote in the aftermath of LeBron James' immediate departure from Cleveland, left it up there on their website all of those years, took it down right before LeBron announced his decision, met with LeBron James, talked face-to-face, man-to-man, apologized to LeBron James, stuff like that. Pat Riley's not that kind of dude. Pat Riley's not going to put himself in a position where he comes across as classless as Dan Gilbert, in fairness to him. But Pat Riley runs the show. In Cleveland, LeBron is running the show. LeBron always knew that that could potentially be the case if he elected to go back, which is why you were hearing rumors about him coming back. Make no mistake, I don't care who it is, Rich Paul Randy, Maverick, Adam Medelson, all of these guys that equate to LeBron James' inner circle. They are incredibly gifted and calculating at what they do. They don't make spontaneous and impromptu maneuvers. They plan, they calculate, they gauge and purview the landscape. They know exactly what they're doing. So this notion that, oh, if we win 3 straight, I'll stay in South Beach. I found it hard to believe that LeBron James was ever going to leave South Beach, because you know me and South Beach. South Beach, Cleveland, what's there to talk about in terms of locale? But when you think about what he has and what he ultimately said he wanted, LeBron James didn't just figure that out in June or May or April. He knew that long before that, period.
So you're going at this as if win, lose, or draw in last year's NBA Finals, LeBron was going to Cleveland, correct? That's how you
Yes.
read those tea leaves all along that way. So you think he's being a little disingenuous because... Go ahead.
I don't want to say disingenuous, because LeBron is classy, and I don't mean to imply anything remotely negative about it. I'm just simply saying that the man knows what he's going to do, and he knows about it long before anybody knows about it. He ain't making a decision a week ago and then decide that he's going to let the world know a week later. LeBron is the type of dude that he knows a year or months in advance exactly what he's going to do before anybody else knows. That's how he rolls. To express it any other way, no knock against him, but I don't believe it, not for 1 second.
Okay. So you may be dead right about everything you just said. So you're going to have to leave it to me to imply something negative here. You can accuse me of being hypercritical if you want. I'm just going to tell you my instant read of these quotes when I heard them or read them yesterday. It smacked to me of between the lines, LeBron once again saying, you know, I just didn't have enough help in Miami. I had to seek better and younger talent, and I found it as I was able to go home in Cleveland because we were able to, this is all I'm reading between the lines, because obviously he's going home to Kyrie and, in a shock to me, Kevin Love. So, bully for LeBron. But, Stephen A., it rankles me, it irritates me that LeBron could get away with suggesting that he didn't have enough help. I'm going to point out again, they were the favorite going into the finals against the San Antonio Spurs. And again, LeBron, I think we would agree on this. LeBron James was by far the best player on the court, like of either team. Of either team, it was LeBron James. So LeBron's team, because of his issues with his cramps in game one, obviously lost game one, and then obviously Spurs win game two. Back home in Miami, LeBron James was just oddly, weirdly off in the second half of game three at home. And then in the turning point, the crucial game four in Miami, American Airlines Arena, look it up. LeBron James was weirdly, oddly, inexplicably off in the first half of that game. Both Spurs wins. And then obviously the Spurs were able to go home and clinch it in game five by a record finals margin. It's just, to me, it's still insulting to a degree to Dwayne Wade and everybody else on that team. Ray Allen, Chalmers. I know Chalmers was terrible, but it's an insult to everybody else, Chris Bosh, on that team, that you're suggesting, if you guys had helped me a little bit and we had won, I would have stayed. We could have gone for another one, and great. That's what I'm not buying.